I'm going to start by doing a review of a book that I forgot to review in my summer wrap-up, because technically I read this before the 23rd of September, so I should have included it, but I didn't. And then I'm going to move on to currently reading and favourites, because I haven't read anything else this month. So the thing that I forgot to mention was Of Mutability by Jo Shapcott. This is a little collection of poetry. I really enjoyed this collection. There were a few poems in there that didn't quite work for me, but I think that's the case with all collections of poetry, or it is with the experiences that I've had anyway. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, really enjoyed it, and at the time of filming this video I'm really looking forward to picking up some more of her poetry on Wednesday when I go back to the library. I've decided to DNF Vixen by Rosie Garland. I don't think it's a bad book or anything, it's just not drawing me into it enough for me to carry on with it, so I'm going to take it back to the library this week. I'm also still kind of in the middle of You by Caroline Kepnes. I'm taking this one a little bit slower because I don't think I find it as funny as some other people do, so it's just not connecting to me on the same wavelength as it is for everyone else. I don't know, it's just, yeah, I'm taking it more slowly. One book that I am really enjoying though is this. It is Suffragette by Emmeline Pankhurst, and I think it's really telling that I did not know that this existed before now. We covered the suffragettes in history lessons at school, but did I know that she'd written a book? No, I didn't. It's actually being turned into a film. I think it comes out next month, so I kind of wanted to read a little bit more about the background of the suffragettes. And then I came across this. It's really fascinating, and it got talked about in history lessons. I don't think I really got it. I don't think I really understood the sacrifices that these women made back then from the little information that we were told. So I really can't wait to talk about this one more on my channel and get some of your opinions as well. I've also started Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. I've never read this before. Really enjoying it so far, even though I'm only like 17% of the way in. And I'm reading this because Halloween is coming up, in case you didn't know, and I really love Halloween. So this year I plan to read Frankenstein and hopefully Dracula as well, because I haven't read either of those before. I've lost what I was going to talk about. Oh, that is odd, isn't it? I'm also hoping to get to this, which is An Astronaut's Guide to Life on Earth by Chris Hadfield. And this is because I watched The Martian, and even though I haven't read The Martian, I feel like I don't really want to read the book so soon after seeing the film, so I saw this at a different library and decided to pick it up because it seems like it's going to be kind of a similar thing, but it's non-fiction, so yay! So onto some favourites. This month there were 2 films that have really stood out to me that I've been to see. The first one was The Theory of Everything, which actually came out like last year, but I only just got around to seeing it. I went to a thing called More London Free Festival, which is a festival that happens every year, and basically the City of London or something puts on free events. It's an outdoor screening, which is really fun, and it's also the first film that I went to see completely by myself, so that was also a good experience to have. The Theory of Everything is about Stephen Hawking and his wife and his family and their lives, basically. Even though there were a few moments where I was like sniffling and starting to cry a little bit, mostly it was just inspirational, and I came out of the experience feeling uplifted rather than depressed. My other film favourite is of course The Martian. I'll leave a review somewhere that I did. I really love this film. It's filled me up with so much positivity. I can't even explain it. It just made me feel so much better about life. So I highly recommend that you go and see that one. Apparently it's been a very scientific and inspirational kind of month. I don't know where that came from. Wasn't planning on it, but it happened. As for TV shows, I started and finished watching Gotham season 1. It's my first kind of dip into the DC world because I'm pretty much mainly a Marvel girl. That's mostly just because that's what I got into, and it's not really any kind of like I'll never watch a DC thing. Gotham focuses on the city of Gotham. I'm explaining this really badly. Gotham is about Gotham before Batman became Batman. So in this, Bruce Wayne is still a kid, and the TV show focuses mainly around Inspector Gordon. Is it Inspector Gordon, or am I just mixing him up with Inspector Gadget? Detective Gordon. Yeah, Detective Gordon, not Inspector Gordon. In that show, I'm mainly interested in the villains, and I really can't wait to see where some of the storylines are going to go next season. It's nice to watch something where I don't actually know what's going to happen, because with a lot of the Marvel storylines, I've looked too much into it and I kind of know what's coming up, or at least what's happened in the comics. It's just really nice to not know things. And the second TV show that I've really been enjoying this month is The Great British, oh my god, I can't say it. The Great British Bake Off. I've never watched this before, but I always wanted to. My friends were always talking about it and I was always kind of left out of the conversation. I watched the first episode and I was like completely hooked, and I knew that I was hooked when one of the cakes, I think it was made of like mousse or something, and the mousse didn't set and the cake kind of did this. It just kind of melted and I felt my stomach doing the same thing, and I was like, wow, I'm invested in this TV show. So that brings us quite nicely onto the subject of food, because this month obviously I've moved down to London and I'm now cooking for myself a lot more, so I'm starting to experiment with different meals. I made some pretty good puttanesca and I'm pretty proud of it, so I'm hoping to make that for my family at some point. I'm also attempting to make fried rice because I don't know any good Chinese restaurants around where I live now, so I can't really order in takeaways, and it's kind of forced me to experiment myself and try to make some fried rice for myself, which is a good thing, I think. And since I've moved down to London, there is a lot more choice on offer for me in terms of food. So I tried sushi for the first time, vegetarian obviously, and I really wanted to mention the restaurant Itsu, which is a chain restaurant, Japanese, and I could live off of the stuff. It is magical. Another thing that I'm loving about living here is the choice of libraries. I've joined one where I live, I've joined one where I work, and I've joined a poetry library. So there is so much choice. I feel like I no longer have to buy books. And I'm also loving the ebook services that you can get through the library these days. I also really got into magazines this month. I haven't read magazines since I was like 13. Basically in London, every Tuesday there are these free magazines that get given out at tube stations, and one of them is Time Out. So Time Out comes out on a Tuesday, and it's basically reviews and recommendations of places and things to do in London, events that are on, restaurants that are opening. It's a really good thing, so I think if you are moving to London or if you live in London and you're struggling for ideas, this is a good place to go. And this month they did a thing called a reader takeover, where they encouraged people to apply to get an article published in here, and I was one of them, and it was like so exciting. I'm really happy that I got to take part in that. The other magazines that come out are Stylist, which comes out on a Wednesday I think, and this is also free. It's more about lifestyle and beauty, fashion. This week's edition was dedicated to the suffragettes, so it had a big piece on the film that's coming out, and it had like a guide to London that showed you different places where the suffragettes had the different protests and things, which I found really cool. And the other free magazine that comes out, I think this one comes out on a Thursday, is Shortlist, and this one's more about like gaming and films and things like that. It's more aimed towards men, as you can probably see. It's got some style advice for men as well in there. All three of those magazines are pretty good. I use this one mainly for the film reviews. Podcasts are another thing that I got into this month. When I'm commuting to work, sometimes if I just can't be bothered reading and I'm not in the mood to listen to music, then podcasts are the things that I go to. The main ones that I listen to are the Empire Film Podcast, the Skip to the End podcast, which is another film podcast, and Philosophize This, which is about philosophy, and I use that for when I want to feel clever and want to feel like I'm thinking about things. I'm not gonna lie, I listen to the film ones mainly for Marvel because I just can't get enough of talking about Marvel, so why not talk about it some more and listen to some other people talking about it. In general, living in London is a favourite of mine this month. I know that in my update video it kind of came across that I was sort of like drowning in stress and everything, but I assure you I'm also having a lot of fun as well. There's so much choice here, so many different types of food that I'm trying. There's a restaurant called Yum Buns, which is basically like Chinese buns, and it's like a Chinese bun with portobello mushrooms and cucumber, and they put walnuts on top, which I didn't have the walnuts because I'm a bit scared of my nut allergy, but they are so good. And then I've tried things like Venezuelan food and Jamaican food. I'm loving that there's always something going on, there's always some kind of event, and a lot of the time they're free as well. I've been to a free festival that had live performances, live music, live circus acts, live dance, and I mentioned before about the free film screening. The other day I stumbled on a Jewish festival and there was the Notting Hill Carnival, which me and my mum planned to get to, but unfortunately we made it like as the carnival was finishing, so we didn't actually get to see that, but it seemed pretty crazy when we got there. I just love that there's so many different things to go and see and do, and it's a lot different to where I used to live where pretty much nothing was going on. So yeah, I'm really enjoying it, and I just want to stress that because I think I freaked a couple of people out with my update video. I need to put it out there that I am enjoying myself as well. I'm gonna leave playlists of my favourite music in the description. I didn't do an August Document Your Life, and I'm not going to do a September one because I don't have much footage, to be honest. So I'm going to include those two song playlists in this video instead. Let me know what your favourite things have been this month. Also let me know what you're planning to read for Halloween because I'm getting really excited, and it's early days, but yeah, I really like Halloween. Thanks so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe if you want to, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye!